Once again, a very good morning, children. So, in the previous class, we have learned in this chapter what is electric charge, what are the charged particles that help the current to move from one point to the other point. So, what are the charged particles? Protons, neutrons, and electrons. Protons are positively charged particles. Neutrons doesn't possess any charge, that is no charge, and electrons possesses negative charge. And what is EMF and what is electric potential difference, how to calculate the potential difference, what are the instruments we use to calculate all these things, that is ammeter, voltmeter, etc., and how to connect ammeter and voltmeter in a circuit, how to draw the current. So all these things we have discussed in the previous session, and now you must be familiar with drawing the electric circuit, and you should know the symbols for the electric circuit also. So this is the typical electric circuit where we have ended the lesson with a switch, resistance, and a cell. So you all also know about the difference between the cell and the battery also. Cell is a single component with a positive and negative sign, whereas battery is the combination of more than 2 or 3 cells. This is called as cell. This is the difference between a cell and a battery, right? So now this is the tabular column what I asked you to go through the symbols for the appliances, okay, for the devices that you must know. So what is the use of knowing the symbols? What are the things how we are going to connect by using these symbols? That only we are going to see in this session. So there are two electrical circuits. One is the series circuit and other one is the parallel circuit. One is the series circuit and other one is the parallel circuit. The series circuit. Now you can see the series circuit here. The series circuit has two bulbs. The series circuit has two bulbs, and the two bulbs are connected to a key, and that key is connected to a cell. Okay, and the cell is again connected to the bulb. So this is a series circuit. Here how the bulbs are connected, one after the other. The bulbs are connected one after the other. Such type of arrangement is called as series circuit. Such type of arrangement is called as series circuit. Whereas in the parallel circuit, you can see the bulb connected parallel to the other bulb. One bulb is connected parallel to the other bulb. As well as the same diagram, again both the bulbs are connected to the cell, that is to the key, and then to the cell, and then to the two bulbs. What is the difference between these two? What is the difference between these two circuits? What is the difference between the series and parallel circuit? See here, the difference is nothing but very simple. Here in the series circuit, I, that is current, is same. Series circuit, current is same. Whereas in parallel circuit, potential difference. In parallel circuit, potential difference. So when current flows in a circuit, it exhibits various effects. Various means many effects. So the main effects are, so actually what we are going to see here is heating, chemical, and magnetic effects. What are the three effects what we are going to see here? Heating, chemical, and magnetic effects. Heating, chemical, and magnetic effects. So here you have given an activity. So I just explained this activity. Later on you can go through it, and when you are free you can go through it. So heating effect. So in this activity you are asked to take a cardboard and you are asked to take an aluminium foil. It has to be very flattened aluminium foil, and you are going to connect this aluminium foil with a cell. Okay, you are going to pass a small amount of electric voltage in this aluminium foil. That is, you are asked to pass only 9 volt. Yeah, 9 volt. It is given in the book exactly how much amount of volt you are going to pass. 9 volt of current is passed here. After passing for a few minutes, after switching off, if you test the aluminium foil, you feel heat. Why the aluminium foil is heated? Because current has passed on the aluminum foil and it starts melting. Even that small amount of volt has made the aluminum foil melt, because aluminum has only that much of conduction of electricity. Because 9 volt itself is heavy for that aluminum foil, so it started melting. Okay, so that is why current is not always same for all the elements. So that is why there is a caution given below the activity. See, read out the caution. The heating effect and the chemical effect experiments have to be performed only with a DC cell of around 9 volts. What is DC cell? That is called as Daniell cell, or you can call it as direct current. Okay, so 9 volt is the maximum amount of current what we can use. Students at any cost should not use the main domestic electric supply, which is a 220 volt AC voltage. So at homes or at our schools we have heavy domestic electric appliance current, supply of current. So that is 220 volts. We are not supposed to use such direct current for the experiments what we are doing, electrical experiments what we are doing in the laboratory at our school. That is strictly prohibited, because when we use such high amount of electric current, there is a cause of electric shocks at our body, to our body. So if it is used, it will give a heavy electric shock leading to a severe damage to our body. So how does this heating effect occur? It is because of the resistance of the current. So when a current is passed, it gets resisted by some appliances. So when it gets resisted, it has to move. It will try to move to reach its point, to the particular point. So it will move towards its left or right, or go back and come front to move. So it will do some work there. So one work done is processed there. So to equalate that resistance and the work done, this effect happens. That effect is called as heating effect. Okay, so see the definition. This conversion of electrical energy into heating energy is called Joule heating. So where does this heating process appliances are applied? Like it is applied in iron box, water heater and toaster. It is applied in iron box, water heater and toaster. So these are the appliances. These may be asked in your 1 mark or 2 mark. So this is the transfer of electric current into heating effect. So how does this iron box, water heater and toaster works? It works under heating effect of the current. Okay. So the next is chemical effect. So this also I just explained. It is given in activity 3. I just explain it. Just listen. So here you can see a blue color solution in a beaker. Blue color solution in a beaker. That blue color solution is nothing but copper sulfate solution. Copper sulfate salt. It is a salt, and if you dilute it with the water, it will give you this blue color solution. And you have to take a dry cell, a carbon rod, a dry cell and a wire made up of copper. Okay, take a thick copper wire, clean it well and flatten it with a hammer. Immerse both the copper wire and carbon rod on the copper sulfate solution. Now connect the rods and the copper wire. So after a few minutes you can see copper gets deposited on the carbon rod. Copper gets deposited over the carbon rod, and this process is called as electroplating. This process is called as electroplating. That is, you have made another material into a shiny particle. A carbon rod, which is a rusted particle, is made shiny now with the help of a copper wire, with the use of an electric dry cell and a solution. So such type of process is called as electroplating. So this is due to the chemical effect of current. This we have used a chemical here, that is copper sulfate salt or copper sulfate solution. It's a chemical here. So we used a chemical here to pass the current, and we made a process. That process is called as electroplating. So such type of process is called as electrolysis. The process of conduction of electric current through solution. When you use a solution to pass a current, it is called as electrolysis. 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 whereas the solution through which the electricity passes is called, the what solution you are taking, that is called as electrolyte. Listen carefully, the definition is very very important, don't get confused. So what is electrolysis? The process of conduction of electric current through solution. The process, you use a solution and that process is called as electrolysis, whereas the solution what you are taking to pass the current is called as electrolyte. So what is electrolyte here? What electrolyte we have used here? Copper sulfate solution is the electrolyte and the process is called as electrolysis. Do you understood, children? Go through the definitions as soon as possible at the end of the session. When you go through the definition, you will easily remember, you never forget. Okay, so this chemical effect is the one which takes in our body. So that is why we always get signals. We are so sensitive. Some are angry, some are so cool, some behave so cool. We feel heat, we feel cold, isn't it? We are resistant to something, we can hear very low noise, we can hear very high sound, we get interrupted by high sound. So all these signals, synaptic signals that take over in our body is because of this chemical charge. And read this now. Do you know? Extremely weak electric current produced in human body by the movement of charged particles. Even our body has charged particles. So these are called synaptic signals. Always brain is a very activated organ which passes impulses to all parts of our body through the nervous system, and those signals are called as synaptic signals. So these signals are produced by electrochemical process. So what process that is undertaken in our body? Electrochemical process. So they travel between brain and the organs through nervous system. So this is the natural process that is taken in our body. The next topic is the last effect is magnetic effect of electricity. Now when you hold a pencil, it is wound by a copper wire, current passing wire. Okay, so copper rod, take a carbon rod and wind it by a copper wire and pass a small amount of current. So this is what given in the diagram. Observe the diagram. See clearly, the current will pass in this carbon rod straight upwards. Okay, so when you hold, you can see these fingers are holding the rod, isn't it, in a circular motion, So the current passes in the upward direction. Whereas this B is the magnetic field. I is the current and B is the magnetic field. So this magnetic field always behaves in the opposite direction, always moves in the opposite direction of current, So what is the definition of this magnetic effect of current? A wire or a conductor carrying current develops a magnetic field perpendicular. How? Perpendicular. That is, the magnetic field is always perpendicular to the current. Magnetic field perpendicular to the direction of the flow of current. This is called magnetic effect of current, and this was found by Oersted. The name of the scientist is Oersted, and this is very important right hand thumb rule, very important rule that he has found, how the current flows and how the magnetic induction behaves according to the current. Okay, so next, types of current. There are two types of current: direct current and alternating current. Direct current and alternating current. So what is direct current? Direct current is nothing but battery is one of the sources. Electrons moves from negative terminal to the battery to positive of the battery. So battery is used mainly because in the circuit, battery is mainly used to find the potential difference between the two wires. So battery is one of the sources for direct current. So when you have battery, when you use battery, it produces the direct current. So the direct current is due to the unidirectional flow of electric charges. Whenever charges flow from battery to the wire connected or to the appliances connected, the direct current is flown. Okay, so now see the diagram to depict the direct current. See current in the y-axis and time in the x-axis. You can see the current. How does the current flows? In a straight line. Current, direct current. This is called as direct current. Current flows in a straight line. This is called as, when you draw a graph, you can see the current flows in a straight line. So many electronic circuits use DC, direct current. Always most of the electronic devices use direct current. This is called as wave form of the direct current. So some examples of devices which work on DC are cell phones, what we use, radio, electric keyboard, electric vehicles. All these are working because of the direct current. The next, what is alternating current? If the direction of the current in a resistor or in any other element changes its direction alternatively. Alternatively means continuously, that is zigzag manner, up and down or left to right. In a zigzag manner, up and down or left to right. That is called as alternately. Okay. The current is called alternating current. When the current is alternated, we call that current as alternating current. Whereas in direct current, the current flows in a straight line. Whereas in alternating current, it is not going to happen like that. The current gets alterated. The current gets alterated. So, calculating the frequency. So what does that exhibit a frequency. When the current gets altered, that exhibit a frequency. So what is frequency? Frequency is the number of complete cycle of variation gone through by the AC in 1 second. So in 1 second, how much current gets altered? Calculating the alteration of the current in a second is called as frequency. So now see the diagram. You will easily understand when you see the diagram. See? Current in y-axis and time in x-axis. In direct current, the line is straight. Okay, in direct current, the line is straight. Whereas in alternating current, you can see the waveforms like this. So where you can calculate the frequency between this node to this node, or this starting point to this point, from this end to this end, or from this end to this end, or from this node to this node. So wherever you want, you can calculate the alternating current. Where are the current gets altered, you can calculate easily. So such type of diagram, wave formation, altered current wave formation is called as alternating current. And the device used to convert AC to DC is called as a rectifier. The device used to convert AC to DC is called as rectifier. This is an important one-word question, children. Please make a note of it. The device used to convert AC to DC is called rectifier. The device used to convert DC into AC is called. This is AC to DC. AC to DC is rectifier. Whereas the device used to convert DC to AC is inverter. So you would have known this inverter. Rectifier may be new for you. Whereas inverter is figured out name, I think. Because inverter is what we have used during the power cut. We had a power cut 3-4 years before, where many of the houses and institutions use this inverter to run off the fans. Some simple inverter is used to run important appliance at that time, at particular time what we are in need of. We want a system to run in the power cut. So we can use this inverter to switch on a power, switch on a system, a fan and a bulb. So for this purpose inverter is used. Okay. So next, see the diagram for the DC voltage circuit symbol and the AC voltage circuit symbol. These are the symbols. Always symbols are very, very important. So DC voltage circuit symbols is positive and negative sign, or you can draw like this in a circle. This is direct current. Okay. Whereas in alternating current, you have to draw this zigzag line, because the current always gets altered in alternating current. So you have to draw like this, or you have to draw like this for alternating current. Okay, so what are the advantages over AC and DC, alternating current and DC current? What are the advantages? The voltage of AC can be varied easily using a device called a transformer. How can it can get converted using a transformer? This is also a familiar name you would have known. Transformer converts the voltage. Okay, easily it can be varied. So direct current cannot be transmitted as such. You cannot transfer the direct current. Okay, so the AC can be easily converted into DC, and generating AC is easier than DC. So generating, because direct current is very easy, is AC is easier than DC. Alternating current is easier than direct current, because direct current you have to give the same circuit connection. When we use same appliances, same circuits, current is 220 volts. Okay, maybe higher, or sometimes voltage may get dropped or so and so. Whereas this alternating current is very simple. Whichever appliance we are in need of, you can run it off by using this alternating current. Okay, so the AC can be easily converted into DC, and generating AC is easier than DC. AC can produce electromagnetic induction, which is useful in several ways. So this electromagnetic induction plays a very important role in the conversion of AC to DC. So DC is very easier than the AC current. Direct current is very easier than the alternating current. Okay, so what are the advantages of direct current? Very important 5-mark question, children. Electroplating, electro-refining and electro-typing can be done only using this direct current. So electricity can be stored only in the form of DC. Always electricity is stored in DC. Okay, this is the one of the important advantages. What is the important advantage? Electroplating, electro-refining and electro-typing. Electroplating, electro-refining and electro-typing. The electricity can be stored only in the form of DC. This is the advantage. What is the disadvantage and the dangers of electricity and the precautions to be taken? So the following are the possible dangers as far as electric current is concerned. So what is that? Let me see that. So we are coming to the conclusion of the lesson. So this is very important question. Advantages and the dangers of electricity and precautions to be taken is very important question, children. So we have 5 topics which you should be thorough with. So science is not a mugging up subject. It has to be understood. Okay, when you understand the concept, you can write it in your own words, but it has to be correct and it should imply all the important points. Okay, so the first one is damaged insulation. Do not touch the bare wire. What is bare wire? When you have you noticed the wire connection at your home? Please make a note of it. You have copper rods, very small thin wires, copper wires, which is insulated by a plastic layer. Okay, so bare wire means if without a plastic wire, if only copper, without a plastic insulation, only a copper wire is seen. Please don't touch the copper wire, because current will be flowing in that wire, so you will receive a shock. Okay, so that is bare wire without the insulation of the plastic. So use safety gloves and stand on insulating stool or rubber slippers while handling electricity. This is the important instruction what we always give. Okay, stand on the wooden chair or use a rubber chappal before touching the electrical appliances. When you are going to repair it or do some connections, you have to use all these things, insulators. Okay, these are called as insulators. So second one is overload of power sockets. Do not connect too many electrical devices to a single electrical socket. So many of the houses, very small houses, but they have many number of electrical appliances where they connect all the appliances to only one circuit. That is very dangerous, because each circuit will imply so much amount of energy, electrical energy. So there will be a shortage. Okay, that is why there are some fire accidents. Because of this, electrical appliances get bursted up due to heavy voltage of current. So we have to avoid that. Overload of power sockets. Do not connect too many electrical devices to a single electrical socket. Then the third one is inappropriate use of electrical appliances. So always use the electrical appliances according to the power rating of the device, like AC point, TV point, microwave, oven point, etc. So each and every electrical devices will imply certain amount of electrical volt. Okay, not all the appliances will involve in accepting all the higher voltages. Okay, iron box will have different voltage amount. Your grinder, your mixie, TV, radio, each and everything will have certain amount of electrical charges to implies of. Okay, so you have to use separate switch boxes for each and everything to run. You're not supposed to use a TV switch for what to say, to charge your cell phone also. TV will involve so much of electrical current, whereas your mobile phone needs only small amount of electrical volt to get it charged. Okay, the battery get it charged. So please make a note of it that you are using a proper electrical point for charging or for heating, for working of the all electrical appliances. Then the fourth one is environment with moisture and dampness. Keep the place where there is electricity out of moisture and wetness, as it will lead to leakage of electric current. So you are not supposed to use the electricity when there is heavy rain or when there is moist or wet. Don't use your wet hand even to switch on or switch off. Okay, that will also give you a electrical shock. So be careful when you use electrical appliances. Then the last one is beyond the reach of children. The electrical sockets are to be kept away from the reach of little children who do not know the dangers of electricity, who do not know the dangers of electricity. Because always we have to say that keep out of children. Keep out of the reach of children, because children doesn't know how to use the electrical appliances properly. They doesn't know to switch on or switch off properly, where you have to keep your finger properly. So always we have to be careful while the children use the electrical appliances, or better tell them not to touch the electrical appliances without the guidance of the elders. Okay, so these are the important points what you have to keep it in your mind. Is that clear, children? Okay, so now we have come to the end of the lesson. You have points to remember where you can go through, so that you will get an idea of what is given there in the book. And you have glossaries, meanings for very very important glossaries, meanings for very many important words. This will also help to make sure of the answers for 2 mark questions. Okay, so please make all the points, go through all the points. Then we have the textbook exercises. Can we discuss the textbook exercises now? Please mark the answers if you have the book along with you. Anyhow, the answers will be posted, but still we will discuss the answers now. Choose the correct answer. In current electricity, a positive charge refers to absence of electron. Positive charge refers to absence of electron. Rubbing a comb with the hair creates transfer of electric charge. Transfer of electric charge. Then the third one, electric field lines from positive charge and in dash in negative charge. Maybe the answer, 2 answers are given, start to end, B and C. Whatever answer you want, you can take. Okay, B or C. Then the fourth one, potential near a charge is the measure of its dash to bring a positive charge at that point. The fourth one answer is work. Option D, work is the answer. Then fifth one, heating effect of current is called Joule heating. It is called as Joule heating. Option A. Then sixth one, in an electrolyte the current is due to the flow of current is due to the flow of both A and B, that is electrons and positive ions. Then seventh one, electroplating is an example for chemical effect. And the eighth one, resistance of a wire depends on all the above. Then answer for match the following. Electric charge, coulomb, electric charge, coulomb. Then potential difference is volt. Then third one, electric field is Newton per coulomb. Then fourth, resistance, ohm. Fifth one, electric current is ampere. Okay, so the 4, 5, 1, 3, 2. This is the answer for match the following. Then you have true or false, right? Third Roman, true or false. The first one answer is true. The first one answer is true. Electrically neutral means it is either 0 or equal positive and negative charges. That is true. Then the second one, ammeter is connected in parallel in any electric circuit. Ammeter doesn't connect in parallel. Ammeter is connected in series. Ammeter is connected in series. Make a note of it. Underline it. Parallel. You have to strike out parallel and you have to write series there. So it is a false statement. It is a false statement. The anode in electrolyte is negative. Anode in electrolyte is always positive. So this is also a false statement. Third one is also a false statement. Negative. It is not negative. It is positive. Okay. Then fourth one, current can produce magnetic field. Yes, of course, current can produce magnetic field. That is true. Current can produce magnetic field. That is true. So first one is true. Second one is false because it is not connected in parallel. It is connected in series. Then third one is false because it is not negative. It is positive. Then the fourth one is true. Okay. Then fill in the blanks. Electrons moves from, I just tell you the answer. Electrons move from dash potential to dash potential. Low potential to high potential. Then second one is the direction opposite to the movement of electron is called conventional current. Then third one, the EMF of a cell is analogous to water pump of a pipeline. Then fourth one, the domestic electricity in India is an AC with frequency of 50 Hertz. It is 50 Hertz. The answers will be anyhow uploaded to you. Don't worry if you haven't noticed the answer properly. Okay. So the answers for conceptual questions. Next coming answer the following. Then problems. Now we will discuss the problems here. The book back problems will be given to you now. Answers for the answer the following and conceptual questions will be uploaded soon as possible. Okay, children. Now let me see the answers for the problems. Book back answers for the problems. Now children, we see the solution for the book back questions. I read out the question. Listen carefully. First question. Rubbing a comb on hair makes the comb get minus 0.4 coulomb. So when you rub a comb, plastic comb on your hair, the comb gets minus 0.4 coulombs. So this was the hint we have given. So what we have to find is, find which material has lost electron and which one gained it. So which material? Only we are using two materials. One is the comb and other one is the hair. They are asking us to find which material has lost electron and which material has gained the electron. See, first question solution, A option. Comb gained electron, the plastic comb. When you comb your hair, the comb gains electron. Always the comb gains electrons. The comb gained electrons. Dry hair lost electrons. Okay, this is the answer for the first option. Then the second option question is, find how many electrons are transferred in this process. So when you rub your dry hair with a comb, electrons get transferred. So what is the value of the electron? This is what we are going to find now. So now see, 1 coulomb is equal to 6.25 into 10 power 18 electrons. Always the value of 1 coulomb is 6.25 into 10 power 18 electrons. So in the book we have given minus 0.4 coulomb has been transferred. So instead of 1 coulomb, we have to write this value minus 0.4 coulomb. Now multiply the 0.4 with the value of 1 coulomb. 0.4 into 6.25 into 10 power 18 electrons, which is equal to minus 2.5 into 10 power 18 electrons. This is the amount of charge that has been transferred when you comb your hair. Okay. So now the solution for the second problem. The problem what we are going to find is calculate the amount of charge that would flow in 2 hours through an element of an electric bulb drawing a current of 2.5 amps. So you are going to calculate the amount of charge, that is you are going to find the value of Q, and you are given the value for time T, which is 2 hours, and then the another value what is given is current, that is I. I is equal to 2.5 amps. So time value and I value are been given. You are going to find the value of charge. See, current I is equal to 2.5 amps and time T is equal to 2 hours. But always in the problem, during the problems, you have to convert these hours into seconds. So 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes, and in 160 minute you have 60 seconds, isn't it? So multiplies this 2 into 60. This is for this 160 is for 1 minute and another 60 is for second. Okay, so 2 into 60 which is 7200 seconds. So time value is 7200 seconds. So now the amount of charge Q is equal to, this is the formula, Q is equal to I into T, current into time. So current value is 2.5 amps. So 2.5 into 7200 and the value of Q, that is the amount of charge, is 18,000 coulomb. Very simple problem. Easily you can get 2 marks for this problem. Straight answer. So now the question. Third one is a graphical problem. So in a rough graph, you can draw this graph. Okay. So this is a sample problem what I have done here. It is an easy problem only. The values are given here. So I have taken the values of current in x-axis and the values for potential difference V in y-axis, and the graphical point is given in your textbook. So I have plotted the points here. Okay. So here 0.5 value is 1.6, and for 1 you have 3.4, and for 2 you have 6.7, and for 3 you have 10.2, and for 4 you have 13.2. These are the points that I have marked here, and you have to take slope between the points 3 and 4. So for 3 you have given 10.2, and for 4 you have given 13.2. So this is the slope what we have taken. So 3 is I1 and V1 value is 10.2. 4 is I2 and 13.2 is the V2 value. So now this is the slope. By using this I1, V1, I2, V2, we are going to find the value of resistance. So resistance of the resistor R is equal to V2 minus V1 by I2 minus I1. This is the formula for finding the resistor. So 13.2 minus 10.2 divided by 4 minus 3, which is 3 divided by 1, which is equal to 3 ohms. So resistor value is 3 ohms. So if I have any doubt, you can ask me in the next session. So these are the 3 problems given at the book back. The rest of the problems are inside the book, which you can go through it. And if you have any straight questions, I have seen it. It is a straight question. You are going to substitute the values for the formulas and you can easily get the answer. So you can work out, you can find out the answer, you can go through the book, and if you have any doubt also you can ask me in the next session. Very easy 3 problems given at the book back. Thank you children.